Hey everybody, last year was our most adventurous year yet, with us getting in over 900 adventure kilometers and taking up mountain biking. And this year, we're working on getting out and doing even more. Before we get into our plans for the year, we just wanted to thank everybody for subscribing. We recently hit 200 subscribers with over 100 people joining us in the last year. And that's happening because people are hitting the like button, they're subscribing, sharing our content, and watching our videos. And honestly, all of that feedback is why we like putting out such high quality content and why we're trying to get better at it as we go. So thanks everybody. So back to our plans. We've been spending more and more time out in the backcountry. Last summer we managed to get 3 weeks off work, as well as spend more than half of our weekends out there backpacking, biking, and canoeing.
So this year we're going to step it up a notch, and we have the goal of hiking 4,240 kilometers. This year we are going to be backpacking the Pacific Crest Trail going from Mexico to Canada starting on April 26th. For those of you who don't know what the Pacific Crest Trail is, the PCT is a national scenic trail in the United States. It starts at Campo, California at the Mexican border and goes all the way to the Canadian border and ends in Manning Park. It goes through California, Oregon, and Washington and is 2,652 miles or 4,240 kilometers. And it's split into 5 main sections.
The first section is the desert section in Southern California, which goes from Campo, California to Kennedy Meadows across 700 miles or 1,120 kilometers of the desert. The desert's characterized by long water carries, the heat, and the arid beauty that you get to walk through for the entire part of it.
The second section is the Sierra in Central California, going from Kennedy Meadows up to South Lake Tahoe. And it goes over 395 miles or 632 kilometers of beautiful mountains. Here we're going to get to be able to tackle high mountain passes, attempt to summit Mount Whitney, which is the highest peak in the lower 48 states, and just get to experience the amazing mountain ranges there.
The third section of the trail is Northern California. It starts at South Lake Tahoe and travels 604 miles or 966 kilometers to the Oregon border. Northern California is generally considered pretty boring, and there's not a whole lot of video or info on it because that's what people generally think of it. But from what we have seen, we do get to sit and walk through some very interesting terrain, and we get to enjoy the desert a little bit more before hitting Oregon.
The fourth section is the Oregon state, going from the California border to the Washington border, and is 456 miles or 730 kilometers long. And it's getting a little bit more of a Pacific Northwest feel to it, a denser forest, a little bit more rain, but is also considered the easiest part of the PCT.
The fifth and final section of the trail is the state of Washington, which goes 495 miles or 792 kilometers from Oregon to the Canadian border. The state of Washington starts to be characterized a bit more by the rainforests, a lot more precipitation, and the ever-increasing chance of snow the longer your hike goes on for. And it's where we basically get to and start racing to Canada before winter does. Now, we didn't decide to do this on a whim. The idea of the PCT is kind of what got us into backpacking at the start, and has kind of been our long-term goal for the last 4 years. Over the last year, we've managed to save up enough money to take the required 6 months off of work, so this year it's time to go start the adventure. Even though we're setting out to complete the Pacific Crest Trail, we do have a couple of goals we want to accomplish along the way.
Our first goal is that we just want to be able to lose ourselves in the trail and the experience. We want to be able to forget about work and normal life and just live in the there and now, taking in the trail as well as the trail community. Based on our past experiences, we know it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows, and there are going to be sucky days, but we're definitely ready to embrace those days instead of being stuck at home, just living, normal lives. Besides just the trail and the beauty, we also want to make sure that we experience the trail community out there, as it is something truly special.
Our second goal is to expose ourselves to new experiences and challenges while we're out on the trail. We want to push our comfort zone both physically and mentally while we're out there so that we can experience some new things, but we don't want to be doing this recklessly. So we're going to be planning on saying yes to a lot of new experiences while still remembering to stay safe while we're out there and making sure we make it to the end.
Our third goal is to complete the thru hike. it's kind of weird that that is our third goal, but we've decided that it's most important for us to experience the trail rather than try to finish a race. That being said, for us, a thru hike is going to be a continual footpath from Mexico to Canada, taking any detours we need based on trail closures. We know that from last year's forest fires, there are some really long closures that we might not be able to safely road walk around. So in those cases, we might need to hitchhike over them, and that's just going to have to be okay.
So why are we doing this? I know we just mentioned some goals, but why are we leaving the comfort of our home to hike across the country through the desert, high mountains, alpine forests, through the heat, dirt, rain, and all of the other unpleasantness that comes along with being out in nature for that amount of time? For me personally, I found that I'm never really quite as happy as when I'm out on trail. There's just a giant fulfilling feeling you get from being out there for that long. And honestly, even some of the worst days like we had where we were getting 2 inches of rain a day on the West Coast Trail, I look back at and feel like I'd still prefer to be doing that than going into work every day. And like, I have a job that I actually enjoy quite a bit, but overall it just doesn't beat the hobby that we have for going out and backpacking. And it's just something that I really, really enjoy doing.
For me, I have never had a point in my life where I've been able to just have nothing to worry about except the adventure. There's always been school or work, and I know that eventually I will come to regret not taking this opportunity for just unrestrained adventure.
We're gonna have some more videos coming out over the next couple of months, finishing up our adventures from last summer. We've got downhill mountain biking from Kicking Horse, biking around Jasper, as well as videos about hiking the Skyline Trail. We're also going to have a couple of videos on our preparation for the hike, including like some of our plans, what our gear's looking like, as well as kind of our mindset behind it. So thanks for tuning in here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be hopefully managing to get videos all summer while we're on trail too, so you can travel along with us for the experience. So stay safe out there and have a good week.